Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday afternoon to you. Dr. Brenda Hasselbrock here with the Wellness Way in Houston Memorial. Today I'm being joined by Dr. Bree Hyde, new graduate from the Texas Chiropractic College, and she'll be joining our team. So welcome aboard. You're going to be seeing her face more on the chat. So we have an important topic to talk about today, and one that Dr. Hyde has had personal experience with, and that is food allergies. So our motto at the Wellness Way is we don't guess, we test. Because if you're not testing, you're basically guessing, right? And that's kind of how medicine works in general. So when we talk about food allergies, we don't do the skin prick allergies. Those will give you immediate sensitivities or reactions or allergies. So anything you've had in the last few days may show up on that. We actually do a blood draw through immunolabs, and it's delayed sensitivity. So anything in the last 30 days that you've had that you're allergic to will show up on the test. So it's much more comprehensive. It's much more complete. We get great results with that. When we find the food allergies, you take those foods out, you avoid them for a period of time. We work on healing the gut, and then we can retest later. You can add some of those things back in. So Dr. Hyde recently had her food allergy test done. Before you talk about that, can you just tell us what was going on with your body, with your symptoms?
So I've been having like abdominal and just in general intestinal pain for a while now. Went to different GI doctors, regular family physicians, didn't really know what really was going on. They did a couple different scopes to try to like see if there was something we could visualize that was wrong, and they never figured it out. So it's like, okay, we'll just avoid different things and see how it goes. And then they gave me the prescription version of Prilosec. It's like, oh, maybe it's just a stomach acid problem, because I was having a really bad acid reflux like all the time, and like this unnecessary like burping. My friends know that I would have these random hiccups like all day, and it was kind of just bloating and pain that never had a reason behind it that we could find.
And you said with the Prilosec, what happened to your...
I ended up doing another test. I was having some different neurological issues later on after that, and they saw like, oh, your B12 is like super low, and they were attributing that to the prescription that they gave me. They didn't realize the interaction with the B12. It really took a dive, and it went right back up after I stopped the medication.
Yeah, so they're giving you medication. Was it helping?
No.
Wasn't helping. Bad side effects, because all medications have negative side effects. And so one of the ones for the Prilosec was driving her B12 down to the dungeon. And it's interesting because we, on one of our training calls today, which the Wellness Way docs get together once a week minimally and we do training together. And on the training this morning, we're talking about stomach acid and whether you have enough gastric acid or not. And a simple way to do that, do you remember? Just look at an x-ray. You can look at a belly x-ray and see what's going on there and give you some great information about that. So, all right. So they can give you Prilosec. It doesn't work. It causes bad side effects. It never fixes the problem. It's not a good long-term solution.
No, and that's the problem, is a lot of people don't realize the long-term side effects for these medications, and that it's not supposed to be taken long-term either. It can really mess with your body's chemistries that are going on.
Not only can it, it will. It's just a matter of time, because they all have negative side effects. All right, so you tested your food allergies. And how many did you have?
I had 33. Yeah, it was, I had a feeling it was going to be a little bit high because I knew there was a lot of stuff going on. I tried the elimination diet for a while, which was really hard.
This is a good story.
I know, because most of my issues were in the morning. So I'm like, okay, it's breakfast. Something's going on with my breakfast that's wrong. I'm like, I have eggs like all the time. Like, I'll switch it. So I ended up having like potatoes and like cheese or like different type of tacos. Switching, I went vegan for a while, and turns out.
Did it work?
Everything I substituted for was on my allergy list. So that's why none of it worked, because I was substituting one allergy for another one.
So let me see. So you switched out eggs and had potatoes, and you're going, it's not the eggs because my stomach's still upset.
I went to like toast or something, and that was also not helpful.
And so all the things she was alternating and substituting were on our list. This goes back to our motto. We don't guess, we test. Because there's so many interactions that, if it's delayed sensitivity, if you had something 2 weeks ago and you're having a reaction for it today, how do you...
It's impossible to keep track of it.
It's impossible. It's impossible to figure it out on your own. And the interesting thing is, I didn't have the type of symptoms that you had. So I had food allergies, but I didn't know it. So it was affecting me in different ways. All right, so you found out you're 33.
Yeah, and it was things I was eating like every day because I was, I consider myself a healthy eater. So I'll have like chicken and sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts, and I season my chicken with garlic and pepper.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to
Sounds
pepper.
sounds healthy.
And yeah, unless you're allergic to everything, then it's not so healthy
Then
anymore.
it's toxic. Yeah,
So
exactly.
I was allergic to the pepper and the garlic and the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. So the main groups of things that I was eating were all on my list. So that's why I wasn't helping like at all. And I couldn't lose weight because of it.
Right. And this is another reason why fad diets don't work, because they can give you, here's the foods to eat, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you're eating a healthy diet, like Dr. Hyde was, but they're still on her food allergy list, she stays inflamed. She's having GI issues. So this is why fad diets don't work. You need to find out what works for you. No two people are the same. Our food allergy lists are totally different. Okay, so you start avoiding your food allergies. Then what happens?
So it's been about close to 2 months now.
Oh,
and I've lost 10 pounds.
Nice.
And not even from like working out like crazy, because it's like maybe like 1 or twice a week I can get a workout in, but it's just from avoiding the food allergies. And I've noticed like a tremendous difference. I don't have any stomach pain, no more painful bloating after eating. I haven't had any acid reflux or any of the burping or hiccups. So all of that's gone down, unless I have a day where I realize I eat something that I wasn't supposed to.
Okay, who's this that we can say hi to?
Jennifer and Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us today, Jennifer's. Okay, then she just had graduation this past weekend.
Yes.
So some celebration, but then being off of her normal routine of eating and schedule and things like that. So how did that work out for you?
It did not work out well. So things go crazy. Sometimes your schedule is just not consistent for a couple period of days, and everyone's out celebrating. So like, oh, let's go get some Whataburger tonight. And I'm like, man, I haven't had that in so long. This is gonna taste so good. And I got so sick. Like I went home and like was violently throwing up. Like that is not on the to-do list for Bree to eat anymore.
Yeah. So when you start avoiding your foods, you start feeling better, you start working better. And Dr. Jason talks about with his weight loss seminar that weight loss is something that we've invented, because if you're doing the right things, if you're eating the right foods, if you're giving the body the proper things, weight loss isn't even an issue. It's just your body keeps what it needs and gets rid of the rest. But even eating healthy foods, because you had some really healthy foods on your list, weren't healthy for you, and they caused inflammation. So it's very important to know what's on your list, because it could be really healthy foods and you think you're doing good things for your body and you're not, and it's toxic and it's poison, and every time you put it in, it's causing inflammation in the body. And not only can it affect your GI, it can affect your hormones, it can affect your it can affect autoimmune, it can affect your brain function. So really, really important. What else on that? Anything else on that?
No, I just say a lot of people, like whenever I told them how many things were on my list, they're like, oh my God, like that's too many, like that's super overwhelming.
Yeah.
But if you like take them like a little bit at a time, because it does tell you which ones you have the highest reaction to, and then so you kind of like start from there and then slowly kind of replace things. Like I can't have cashews, but I can have almonds. So you just kind of go through little by little and say, oh, where can I substitute? And then once you kind of get on a good routine and realize what works for you and what doesn't with your schedule, it's so much easier than you would anticipate.
Yeah, and that's a key point too. So we tell patients, you're not going to be able to change everything today. You just start, and you start instead of having, what was it, cashews on the list? Instead of having cashews or cashew milk, have almond milk, and you just start switching those things out. And as you go through it, it's a little bit, not necessarily overwhelming, but it's a lot of work in the beginning, but it gets easier and easier. So you just take it step by step, make a little change here, a little change there. Next thing you know, your things are replaced and you're doing well.
And it's not forever either. So it helps your peace of mind a little bit, because I'm like, I love Brussels sprouts. I want my Brussels sprouts again. So.
I think the day you got your results back,
I had Brussels sprouts in my lunchbox.
So,
I'm like,
oops, I'm going to have these today. Yeah, that's right. So, and then sometimes when you're going out to eat and you're kind of at the mercy of other people, and there are things that are on your list that you can't have, but you've got to eat something. So what do we do in those situations?
For those ones, one, like, you don't have to like starve or punish yourself. Pick something. I always think about like the lesser of two evils. So you can't just like throw the whole towel in for the day. Like, oh well, I'm done. Here we go.
Mhm.
So you just kind of pick something that works for you at that moment, and
Right.
things that you can like help. Like, I know if I get a salad, I can just take off the tomatoes. Like,
Yeah.
or ask for no cheese. And a lot of
Right.
places are really nice with accommodating to you.
Yeah.
And then we have supplements that help you if you do have a bad day and you need to help curb that reaction a little bit.
Yeah. So Albizia is our favorite supplement. It's a natural like antihistamine. So it's not like a get out of jail free card, but if you're somewhere and oh my gosh, there's pepper and garlic everywhere or onion, you know, so you just have an extra dose just to kind of down regulate that histamine response. And like during the holidays, man, it's tough. I mean, you're going to other people's houses. You can bring a healthy dish that you can have, but it's just tough. So in those situations, Albizia is awesome. So anything else before we wrap up?
No, I just think the one really interesting thing was once you start looking at labels of things, when you realize like, okay, well, I know I can't have milk because that was one of my things is all dairy products, including eggs, were like not okay.
Right.
So I'm like reading labels. I'm like, okay, does this have eggs in it? You'd be surprised how many products have wheat, dairy, and soy.
Right.
It was kind of surprising once you start realizing what you're putting in your body.
And what's the one thing the three things everybody should avoid?
Soy,
wheat, dairy, soy. Yeah.
All of those things.
In general, as humans, they're not good for us in general. Dr. Patrick did a good quick tip on soy last Saturday. You can go back and look at that.
Jennifer wants to know how many times a year would you test for allergies?
About once a year, Jennifer. If you're really anxious and you want to have it done sooner, if you're really being very disciplined with them, you can check them earlier, like 8 to 10 months. The longer you give your body to heal, the better. So usually around the 12-month mark. That's a good question. All right.
Oh, and thanks for Lori for saying congrats.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us today. If you're interested in having your food allergies tested, you can give us a call here. We can help you walk through that process of what it looks like. We've got a little poster in the background. Sometimes it kind of does this, but we'll help you. And so anybody else? Oh, last thing.
Oh, the other Jennifer wants to have allergies change.
Yes, they do change. So it's just about healing your gut so that you can stop the leaking in there, and then you'll have less allergies. And it'll change too. So one last thing I want to remind is our next inflammation talk, the Wellness Way approach. To learn more about the Wellness Way approach and how we think differently, it's going to be January 8th at 5:30 here in the office. Tuesday, yeah. And I'm going to have Diana, did you post in there? So she's going to post the link to the Eventbrite. So if you're local, please join us. If not, reach out to us, and we're glad to answer any questions and help you out in any way. So we're not going to be here next Tuesday because it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So Merry Christmas, everybody. Well, they're probably not going to be here the next Tuesday because that's New Year's Day.
Well, we'll see you eventually.
We'll see you. If I have an opportunity, I'll pop on one of those 2 days or both those 2 days. But if I don't see you, we'll see you on the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? What day is it? Second Tuesday? The 8th.
Oh,
yeah, because that's when it's inflammation talk. So we'll see you on the day of the inflammation talk. So anyway, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if we don't see you. I don't know if that's it.
Just people joining.
Okay, thanks.
So,
thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas. Oh, one more thing. Please like and share this video because there are people that are suffering and we have the answer for them and they don't even know it. So have them come to our inflammation talk or look at our videos on our Facebook page. And thanks so much, everybody. We appreciate it. Okay,
Bye.
Merry Christmas.